Hello everybody. Welcome back to the ABC General Hospital Spoilers channel. Today, we will dive deep into the brewing storm in Port Charles as Drew Cain uncovers a scandalous plot involving Curtis Ashford and a mysterious figure named Jacinda. Prepare for a roller coaster of secrets, betrayals, and strategic maneuvering as we explore how a simple tip could turn the tables in this gripping saga. From hidden agendas to fractured loyalties, this storyline promises to keep GH fans on the edge of their seats with every twist and turn. Let's start with the heart of the conflict. Drew Cain, a man who's no stranger to high-stakes drama, seems to have stumbled upon a goldmine of information that could change the dynamics of his rivalry with Curtis Ashford. Word on the street, thanks to a rather loose-lipped Kai Taylor, is that Curtis is entangled in a risky scheme to manipulate the narrative surrounding Drew. According to the whispers in Port Charles, Curtis is desperate to tarnish Drew's reputation by involving a woman named Jacinda, a figure from Drew's past whose sudden reappearance has everyone buzzing with curiosity. But what exactly does Curtis have up his sleeve? Sources suggest he's banking on bribing Jacinda to spin a web of lies so convincing that it could ruin Drew's credibility once and for all. Picture this: Curtis, with a wad of cash in hand, trying to persuade Jacinda to claim that Drew orchestrated a night of illicit passion and willingly indulged in substances that altered his judgment. It's a plot so audacious it could either be a stroke of genius or a catastrophic misstep. The stakes couldn't be higher, as this accusation could paint Drew as not just reckless, but morally compromised in the eyes of the entire town. With public opinion at play, Curtis is gambling on a story that might just stick unless, of course, Drew has something to say about it. Now, let's turn our attention to Kai Taylor, the unexpected wild card in this unfolding drama. Kai, who many thought was a steadfast ally to Trina Robinson and her family, has seemingly chosen a different path, one that prioritizes his ties to Drew over the bonds he's built with Trina. In a shocking act of disloyalty, Kai couldn't resist spilling the beans to Drew about Curtis' underhanded plan. This wasn't just a casual slip of the tongue, it was a deliberate decision that has set off a chain reaction of potential chaos. Imagine Kai, wrestling with his conscience in a dimly lit corner of the local diner, deciding that Drew deserved to know the dirty details of Curtis' scheme. His tip wasn't vague or half-hearted, it was a clear warning, a beacon for Drew to prepare for battle. But at what cost? Kai's betrayal is a double-edged sword. While it might strengthen his alliance with Drew in the short term, it's already creating ripples of tension with Trina, who has always seen him as a confidant. The fallout from this choice could redefine relationships across Port Charles, as trust becomes a rare commodity in a town rife with hidden motives. Meanwhile, Curtis isn't sitting idly by as his plan teeters on the brink of exposure. Determined to see his scheme through, he's enlisted the help of Felicia Scorpio, a seasoned investigator with a knack for tracking down elusive figures. Curtis is banking on Felicia's skills to locate Jacinda, wherever she may be hiding, and bring her back to Port Charles for a pivotal confrontation. Picture Felicia combing through old records, chasing down leads in seedy bars and forgotten motels, all to find the woman who holds the key to Curtis' gambit. If Felicia succeeds, Curtis hopes to orchestrate a discreet meeting where he can lay out his offer, a hefty sum in exchange for Jacinda's fabricated testimony. But this clandestine rendezvous is fraught with peril. Curtis knows the clock is ticking, and every moment that passes increases the chances of his intentions being uncovered. What he doesn't realize is that his every move might already be under scrutiny, as the walls of secrecy around him begin to crumble. Will Felicia's search bear fruit? Or will it lead Curtis straight into a trap of his own making? Enter Drew Cain, who is anything but a passive player in this game of cat and mouse. Armed with Kai's tip, Drew is already several steps ahead, plotting a counter-move that could turn Curtis' entire strategy on its head. Rumor has it that Drew is considering a stealthy approach, perhaps planting a covert recording device to capture Curtis in the act of offering Jacinda a bribe. Imagine Drew, late at night in his office, meticulously setting up the perfect gadget, a tiny piece of technology that could record every incriminating word. He might even enlist Kai's assistance, the two of them working in hushed tones to ensure the device is hidden in just the right spot, maybe tucked inside a seemingly innocuous object at the meeting location. If Drew succeeds, he could obtain irrefutable proof of Curtis' deceit, a conversation where dollar amounts are discussed and lies are agreed upon. Such evidence wouldn't just be a minor victory, it would be a devastating blow to Curtis' credibility, potentially exposing his desperation to anyone who listens. Drew's foresight might even capture Jacinda's response. Will she take the money and agree to the falsehoods, or will her conscience intervene at the last moment? Either way, Drew is positioning himself to gain the upper hand, turning a potential smear campaign into a weapon of his own. As the week of July 7th to 11th approaches, the tension in Port Charles is set to reach a boiling point. Spoilers tease that Drew will secure significant leverage over an adversary during this time, and all signs point to Curtis as the target of this newfound power. This isn't just about a recording or a single piece of evidence, it's about escalating a feud that has simmered beneath the surface for far too long. Picture the moment when Drew reveals his ace up his sleeve, perhaps during a heated confrontation at a crowded event, where every eye in the room is on the two rivals. The audio, if obtained, could be played for maximum impact, leaving Curtis scrambling to explain himself while gasps echo through the crowd. This kind of advantage could redefine their rivalry, giving Drew not just a temporary win, but a lasting dominance in their ongoing battle. The streets of Port Charles will buzz with speculation. How far will Drew go to protect his name? And what will Curtis do when backed into such a tight corner? One thing is certain: Drew's knack for staying in control, even under pressure, will be tested like never before. Of course, no betrayal goes without consequence, and Kai Taylor is about to learn that lesson the hard way. Trina Robinson, who has always valued loyalty above all else, will be blindsided by the news of Kai's actions. When she discovers that he prioritized Drew over her family, her reaction will be nothing short of explosive. Imagine Trina, her eyes blazing with hurt and anger, confronting Kai in a quiet park, her voice trembling as she demands to know why he betrayed her trust. Kai might try to justify his decision, claiming he was protecting Drew from an unjust attack or that he felt torn between two loyalties. But for Trina, his excuses will fall on deaf ears. She'll wonder aloud if Drew will always take precedence in Kai's life, if their own relationship fueled on years of shared secrets and support means so little in the grand scheme of things. This confrontation isn't just a lover's quarrel, it's a fracture in a foundation that might not easily be repaired. Spoilers hint that Kai and Trina's bond is headed for turbulent waters, with trust issues threatening to capsize what was once a steadfast partnership. Will they find a way to navigate this storm, or is this the beginning of the end for their connection? Next, we will dive deep into the captivating enigma surrounding Vaughn and his intriguing connection with Jocelyn Jacks, exploring hidden motives, potential family ties, and the emotional undercurrents driving their actions. As the drama unfolds in Port Charles, the week of June 30th to July 4th brought us a mix of romance, secrets, and startling confessions that promise to shake up the town in ways we couldn't have anticipated. Let's unravel the layers of this storyline, speculate on Vaughn's mysterious past, and consider how his path might intertwine with some of the most iconic figures in General Hospital history, including the stoic and ever-complicated Jason Morgan. A bond forged in danger, Vaughn and Jocelyn's growing connection. In the heart of Port Charles, where danger lurks around every corner, Vaughn and Jocelyn Jacks have found themselves drawn together by the high-stakes world of espionage. This week, their partnership as WSB operatives took a romantic turn, punctuated by stolen kisses amidst life-threatening missions. Their chemistry crackles with an intensity that mirrors the chaos of their jobs, creating a dynamic that's as thrilling as it is unpredictable. Each shared glance and whispered conversation in the shadows hints at deeper emotions blossoming between them, a connection that goes beyond mere camaraderie. As they navigate this treacherous landscape, their reliance on each other for survival only strengthens their bond, setting the stage for revelations that could change everything. Adding a fascinating twist to their relationship, Vaughn teased Jocelyn with the promise of one day disclosing the true reason he joined the WSB, a secret that seems to weigh heavily on his heart. This tantalizing hint suggests a past filled with unresolved pain or a burning desire for justice, making us wonder what drives this enigmatic agent. Could his motivations mirror Jocelyn's own thirst for vengeance, or is there a more personal story waiting to be uncovered? As viewers, we're left hanging on the edge of our seats, eager to peel back the layers of Vaughn's guarded persona and discover what fuels his relentless pursuit of justice. Jocelyn's confession, a vendetta against Sonny Corinthos. Jocelyn, never one to shy away from speaking her mind, dropped a bombshell during a vulnerable moment with Vaughn. She confessed that her decision to become a super spy wasn't just about adventure or duty, it was a calculated move to exact revenge on none other than Sonny Corinthos. This admission, raw and unfiltered, paints a picture of a young woman consumed by anger and a need to right perceived wrongs. Her vendetta against Sonny, once thought to be a fleeting resentment, has resurfaced with renewed vigor, catching many by surprise. After all, Jocelyn had appeared to move past her grievances, especially considering the profound impact Sonny's potential downfall would have on his daughters, Donna and Avery Corinthos. The emotional ripple effect of imprisoning Sonny would be devastating for the young girls, who look up to him despite his controversial choices. Jocelyn's internal conflict balancing her thirst for justice with the collateral damage it could cause adds a layer of complexity to her character that's both heartbreaking and compelling. Is her resolve driven by a specific incident we've yet to uncover, perhaps a betrayal or loss tied to Sonny's actions? Or does her anger stem from a broader resentment of the mob life that has ensnared so many in Port Charles, including her own family? Whatever the root cause, her confession to Vaughn reignites a storyline that General Hospital seems determined to explore, promising more tension and moral dilemmas in the episodes to come. Vaughn's hidden motive, personal crusade. Vaughn's cryptic promise to one day share his own reasons for joining the WSB hints at a backstory steeped in personal turmoil. His reluctance to open up immediately suggests that whatever drove him to this dangerous career path is deeply personal, perhaps even painful to revisit. Could his mission be tied to a vendetta of his own, mirroring Jocelyn's quest for revenge? As a newcomer to Port Charles, Vaughn's presence feels deliberate, as if the writers have crafted him with intricate ties to the town's tangled web of history and relationships. In the world of General Hospital, where no character exists in isolation, it's almost certain that Vaughn harbors connections, familial or otherwise, it will soon come to light. Speculation runs rampant among fans about what demons haunt Vaughn's past. His determination to bring down criminals suggests a profound resentment, possibly born from a betrayal or loss inflicted by someone in the underworld. Could he be targeting a specific figure in Port Charles, someone whose actions irrevocably altered the course of his life? The intensity with which he pursues his WSB duties hints at a burning need for retribution, a need that might parallel Jocelyn's, but with a unique twist. As we ponder his motives, one theory stands out above the rest. Could Vaughn's vendetta be directed at Jason Morgan, one of Port Charles' most storied figures? And if so, what could link these two men in such a volatile way? The Jason Morgan connection, a long-lost son. Among the myriad possibilities swirling around Vaughn's origins, one theory captivates the imagination more than most, that he could be the long-lost son of Jason Morgan. This isn't mere whimsy. General Hospital has a storied tradition of rewriting history and unearthing hidden family ties, often with dramatic flair. Just look at recent revelations like Cody Bell and Sasha Corbin discovering their roots in the Scorpio family, or the unexpected backstory of Giovanni Joe Palmieri linking him to Brooklyn Quartermaine Chase and Dante Falconeri. These twists remind us that in Port Charles, blood ties are rarely straightforward and often come with emotional baggage. If Vaughn is indeed Jason's son, the implications are staggering. Imagine a scenario where Jason, unbeknownst to him, fathered a child during a fleeting encounter, perhaps a one-night stand during one of his many travels, or a brief romance with a woman from his past. The mother, for reasons of her own, might have chosen to keep the pregnancy a secret, raising Vaughn far from the dangers of Jason's mob enforcer lifestyle. Alternatively, the storyline could take a darker turn, with Vaughn's conception tied to something more sinister, like stolen genetics or a manipulative scheme by a woman obsessed with Jason. Such a plot would echo the soap opera trope of forbidden or hidden children, adding a gothic edge to Vaughn's narrative. The roots of resentment. Why Vaughn might hate Jason. Assuming Vaughn is Jason's son, what could fuel his apparent animosity toward his father? One possibility is that Vaughn grew up believing Jason knew of his existence and deliberately chose to abandon him, prioritizing his dangerous career over fatherhood. This narrative, fed to him by a bitter or protective mother, could have sown seeds of resentment that festered over the years, transforming into a burning desire for revenge. Picture a young Vaughn, yearning for a father figure, only to hear stories of Jason's loyalty to Sonny and the mob stories that paint him as a man who values power over family. Alternatively, Vaughn's mother might have been brutally honest, admitting she shielded him from Jason to protect him from a life of violence. While this truth might spare Jason direct blame, it could still leave Vaughn grappling with feelings of abandonment and loss, wondering what might have been if he'd grown up with a father's guidance. These conflicting emotions, anger, longing, and confusion could manifest as a determination to dismantle the very world Jason inhabits, striking at the heart of the mob life that kept them apart. If Vaughn's mission with the WSB is indeed a crusade against Jason, it adds a heartbreaking layer of tragedy to their potential reunion, setting the stage for explosive confrontations and emotional reckonings. Port Charles ties. Who else might Vaughn be connected to? Beyond the Jason Morgan theory, Vaughn's mysterious past likely ties him to other key players in Port Charles. General Hospital thrives on interconnected stories, and it's improbable that Vaughn's arrival is random. Could his mother be a character from the show's rich Historia Forgotten Flame of Jason's, or someone tied to another prominent family like the Quartermains or the Spencers? Perhaps she's linked to the WSB itself, explaining Vaughn's path into espionage, or even to a villainous faction, adding a layer of irony to his crusade against crime. Another avenue to explore is whether Vaughn has siblings or other relatives in town, unbeknownst to him or them. Imagine the drama if he crosses paths with someone like Michael Corinthos or Carly Spencer, only to later discover they share a blood connection through Jason. Such a revelation would not only deepen Vaughn's ties to Port Charles but also complicate his mission, forcing him to confront whether his vendetta is worth the cost to his newfound family. The possibilities are endless, each one promising to weave Vaughn more tightly into the fabric of General Hospital's sprawling narrative. The road ahead, in covering Vaughn's truth. As ABC General Hospital spoilers continue to tease the mystery surrounding Vaughn, one thing is clear: his story is far from over. Whether he's Jason Morgan's son seeking revenge, a man driven by a different personal tragedy, or someone with entirely unexpected ties to Port Charles, his journey promises to captivate us with every twist and turn. His evolving relationship with Jocelyn, built on shared secrets and dangerous missions, offers a window into his soul, hinting at the pain and passion that drive him. Meanwhile, the specter of his past looms large, ready to reshape the dynamics of key characters and storylines in ways we can only imagine. Next, we will delve into the heart-wrenching drama surrounding Rocco Falconeri, who might soon vanish from Port Charles, sparking a desperate search led by his family. As shocking revelations about his origins come to light, emotions run high, and questions of loyalty, love, and redemption take center stage. With Giovanni Joe Palmieri potentially stepping into Dante Falconeri and Lula Spencer, and unexpected twists involving Brooklyn Quartermain, this storyline promises to keep us glued to our screens. Join us as we explore the intricate details of Rocco's turmoil, speculate on his daring next move, and uncover the ripple effects on those around him in this gripping General Hospital saga during the July 11th episode and beyond. Rocco's emotional turmoil, unraveling the secrets of his birth. In the bustling world of Port Charles, young Rocco Falconeri finds himself at the center of an emotional storm as he grapples with unsettling questions about his past. Recently, Rocco's curiosity about Britt Westburn has led him to seek answers from his mother, Lula Spencer, hoping to piece together the fragmented puzzle of his origins. The conversation that ensues is bound to be a difficult one, as Lulu must navigate the delicate task of explaining the complex and painful truth behind the stolen embryo situation that brought Rocco into existence. With tenderness and care, she'll likely emphasize that the circumstances of his birth do not define him, reassuring him that he is loved unconditionally by his family, regardless of the unconventional path that led to his life. Adding to the emotional weight, Dante Falconeri will soon learn of Rocco's growing concerns and confusion. As a devoted father, Dante will make every effort to reach out, hoping to bridge the widening gap between them with words of comfort and understanding. However, the revelation of such a monumental secret tone that was kept from Rocco for so long may prove too much for the young boy to process. The sense of betrayal and disconnection from his parents could overwhelm him, leaving him to question his place in the family he once thought he knew so well. It's a heartbreaking scenario that sets the stage for a dramatic turn, as Rocco struggles to reconcile his identity with the shocking truths he's uncovered. A bold move: Rocco's potential disappearance. As the weight of these revelations bears down on him, General Hospital spoilers indicate that Rocco is poised to make a daring and unexpected decision in the upcoming July 11th episode. The build-up to this moment suggests that the young boy, feeling unmoored and lost in his own world, might take a drastic step to escape the chaos of his emotions. Could this bold action be an impulsive decision to run away from home, seeking solitude to clear his muddled thoughts? The idea isn't far-fetched, especially when we consider parallels with other characters who faced similar identity crises in Port Charles. Take Joe Palmieri, for instance, who recently experienced his own world-shattering moment upon learning of his adoption. Overcome with confusion and a sense of displacement, Gio's immediate reaction was to flee, eventually finding himself at a motel with Emma Scorpio Drake as he tried to make sense of his new reality. Rocco's ordeal, while unique in its details, echoes this same sense of upheaval. It's entirely plausible that he might follow a similar path, slipping away from the watchful eyes of his parents to a place where he can wrestle with his feelings in solitude. Such a disappearance would send shockwaves through his family, igniting a frantic search and heightening the stakes of this already intense storyline. Panic in Port Charles, Lulu and Dante's desperate search. Should Rocco indeed vanish, the fallout for Lulu and Dante will be immediate and devastating. Lulu, already burdened with guilt over the secrets she kept, may spiral into a state of sheer panic when she realizes her son is nowhere to be found. Every missed call, every empty room, will amplify her fear, painting vivid nightmares of worst-case scenarios in her mind. Dante, too, will be thrust into a state of alarm, his protective instincts as a father and detective kicking into high gear. Together, they might comb the streets of Port Charles, reaching out to friends, neighbors, and anyone who might have seen Rocco, their desperation growing with each passing hour. This crisis could unearth deeper tensions between Lulu and Dante as well, as they grapple with blame and regret over how they handled Rocco's discovery. Did they wait too long to tell him the truth? Could they have been more prepared for his reaction? These questions will linger in the air, adding an extra layer of anguish to their search. Meanwhile, the community of Port Charles will likely rally around them, offering support and joining in the effort to locate the missing boy. But as time ticks on, the fear of Rocco facing danger, whether from the inherent risks of the town or his own vulnerable state, will loom large over everyone involved. Joe Palmieri's redemption, a chance to step up. Amidst this chaos, Giovanni Joe Palmieri emerges as a potential beacon of hope for the Falconeri family. With his own recent struggles over identity and belonging, Joe is uniquely positioned to empathize with Rocco's plight. Having felt the sting of familial secrets himself, he understands the urge to run, the need to escape when the ground beneath you feels like it's crumbling. This shared experience could motivate Joe to step forward and assist Dante and Lulu in their search, offering not just physical help but emotional insight into what Rocco might be feeling. This moment could also serve as a turning point for Gio's relationship with Dante, which has been strained by past misunderstandings. Recall the tension following the alcohol poisoning incident involving Rocco, where Dante criticized Joe for not acting swiftly enough to get help. That conflict left a lingering bitterness between them, but Gio's involvement in finding Rocco could pave the way for reconciliation. If Joe manages to track down his half-brother, perhaps using his own instincts to guess where a troubled youth might hide, it could prove his reliability and care, melting the ice between him and Dante. Such an act of redemption would not only mend fences, but also lay the foundation for a stronger sibling bond, uniting the family in a way they've longed for. Building family bonds, a silver lining in crisis. Beyond repairing his dynamic with Dante, Gio's role in this crisis could deepen his connection with Lulu as well, weaving tighter threads in the fabric of their family unity. Lulu, who has always strived to nurture a sense of belonging for her children, might find in Joe a renewed ally, someone who truly gets the struggles of feeling out of place. Their shared concern for Rocco could bring heartfelt conversations, perhaps late at night over coffee as they pore over maps and phone records, discussing their own pasts and finding common ground. These moments of vulnerability might be the key to forging a lasting bond, turning a moment of crisis into an opportunity for unity. Moreover, if Joe succeeds in reuniting Rocco with his parents, the gratitude and relief from Dante and Lulu could mark the beginning of a new chapter for the entire family. Picture a tearful reunion at the Falconeri home, where misunderstandings are set aside, and the focus shifts to healing as a unit. Rocco, having faced his fears head-on during his time away, might return with a newfound appreciation for his family's love, while Joe earns a permanent place in their hearts. This storyline, though fraught with tension, holds the promise of bringing the Falconers closer than ever, proving that even the darkest moments can lead to brighter days in Port Charles. Brooklyn's misstep backfire with consequences. As if the drama surrounding Rocco wasn't enough, ABC General Hospital spoilers tease an additional layer of intrigue with Brooklyn Quartermain, whose recent actions are set to backfire in spectacular fashion. While details remain under wraps, it's clear that Brooklyn's decisions, perhaps tied to her own schemes or attempts to protect someone, will have unintended repercussions that ripple through Port Charles. Could her misstep be connected to Rocco's situation, maybe an ill-advised comment or interference that pushed him further away? Or does it involve another player in this complex web, adding fuel to an already volatile fire? Whatever the specifics, Brooklyn's involvement promises to escalate the stakes, potentially dragging other beloved characters into the fray. Her tendency to act impulsively, often with good intentions but poor foresight, has landed her in hot water before, and this time seems no different. Fans can expect shocking developments as her actions come to light, possibly straining relationships or uncovering secrets she'd rather keep buried. Will she be able to mitigate the damage, or will her latest blunder cost her dearly in the eyes of those she cares about most? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain: Brooklyn's story is about to take a dramatic turn. Looking ahead, what's next for Rocco and Port Charles? As we brace for the July 11th episode and beyond, the mystery of Rocco Falcone's potential disappearance keeps us on the edge of our seats. Will he indeed run away? And if so, how far will he go before he's found? Can Joe Palmieri rise to the occasion, proving himself as a brother and earning Dante's trust in the process? And what catastrophic consequences await Brooklyn Quartermain as her actions unravel? Each question adds to the suspense, ensuring that General Hospital continues to deliver the emotional depth and unexpected twists we've come to love. What are your thoughts, General Hospital fans? Do you think Rocco will vanish? And if so, where might he go? How do you see Gio's role playing out? And what do you predict for Brooklyn's looming disaster? Share your theories and predictions in the comments below, and don't forget to tune into ABC General Hospital for all the latest developments. Until next time, keep watching, keep speculating, and let the drama of Port Charles sweep you away into its captivating world of secrets and surprises.